At least 108 million people were killed in wars in the 20th century, making it the most violent in recorded history. The 21st century is no different. So, how many wars are happening right now? Well, we're limiting our scope to 9 active wars worldwide, where 1,000 or more people have died within a year. Iraq. This country has been ravaged by the 3-year campaign to drive ISIS from the third of the country it controlled. Currently, ISIS has been waging a guerrilla war against the Iraqi government. Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, the US launched its strike in 2001 following 9/11 to oust the Taliban and the al-Qaeda. It's already the longest war in US history, with the Taliban active in 70% of the country. The conflict is at a stalemate. Syria. In Syria, the civil war started in 2011 to oust President Bashar al-Assad against growing corruption and unemployment. 8 years since the war started, still numerous armed groups are fighting against each other in this complex war. There seems to be no end in sight. Somalia. Over in Somalia, another al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group, al-Shabaab, controls at least 10% of the country. After decades of instability, Somalia has been inching towards stability, but it still faces challenges from al-Qaeda. South Sudan. South Sudan broke away from Sudan in 2011. Since then, a civil war has broken out along ethnic lines.
As both men mobilized support along ethnic lines, the conflict pitted Kir's tribe, the Dinka, against Machar's, the Nuer, turning it into a broader struggle over land and resources, including oil.
In 2017, famine was declared in several parts of the country. Nigeria. There's a similar situation in Nigeria. The government has been fighting against the Islamic militant group Boko Haram since 2009. It has resulted in a large-scale humanitarian crisis. Nigerians fear no end in sight. Ukraine. Europe's bloodiest conflict in 2 decades began with protests that led to the ouster of pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych. Soon, Russia annexed Crimea, an autonomous region of southern Ukraine, and fighting continues in the eastern Ukraine among government forces and Russian-backed separatists. The war has reached an impasse. Libya. In Libya, there is an ongoing conflict among rival factions seeking control of the territory and oil in Libya.
Tensions are escalating in Libya, where a potential military showdown is brewing. Military leader Khalifa Haftar has vowed to take control of the country for years, and yesterday he ordered his troops to march on the capital city of Tripoli.
Libyans fear no end in sight. Yemen. In Yemen, the worst humanitarian crisis on the planet is unfolding, according to the UN. Currently, Yemen is in a state of proxy war with the Saudi-led coalition and Iran backing opposite sides. Yemenis fear no end in sight as war enters the 5th year. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this every Friday.